its research and be done with it. It's kind of like, you just gotta make compromises sometimes when you're doing a challenge run. I try not to make compromises almost ever, but there are times where it's impossible to avoid, like when I did Marines only, and you can't make Marines on these missions.
I will erase the demon.
So what am I gonna do? Let's make some Colossus.
Great one, the vault is prepared. Guard us.
I'll make DTs. DT is easier.
That may follow.
It's cheaper too.
We must not make the mistakes we did.
Got 1 Stargate, 2 more gateways. I'm gonna ignore the gold base because it's a pain, and it never works out for me.
My burden shows up.
Let's go see if we can kill one right now. An Omegalisk.
Honor commands.
Probably. Yeah, it's not that bad.
I have rallied the last of our great fleet. Your timing is impeccable, Admiral. When the enemy takes to the air,
Oh, can you void prison it?
need your support.
That is a big one.
The Zerg performed their
Okay.
function as I planned. My hybrid are proof of this. Now, the last of the Protoss will fulfill their function in death.
They come from the mid, and then we can go kill the next Omegalisk. It'll be easy peasy.
From the shadows I come.
I have no Chronos still. Is there a hard limit to the length of this mission, or is it soft? There is a 9-hour limit, and then StarCraft crashes, and that is the true limit to this mission. Or rather, the game just ends and declares you failed because the clock has an overflow error. I don't actually know if the game ends or if it crashes, but you lose.
From the shadows I come. The Zerg are swarming at our flanks. We have to react quickly.
So the world record for enemies slain on this mission is something like 15,000. The reason being is that it used to be that the broodlings that would spawn would count as enemies, so you would intentionally leave up the Nidus worms and farm the broodlings. That got nerfed though, and so the numbers are just completely different.
You address me from the shadows.
So it's like impossible to get that high. Maybe on casual or something. I don't think that people really keep track, so I don't know what the world record is after it got fixed. It just doesn't seem like it's something people are interested in competing over.
I will erase. I will be redeemed.
Probably shouldn't be doing this. It's a lot of Phoenixes that died. But I got the Omegalisks. I figure if the mission is easy, I might as well grab the Omegalisks really quick. Gives me something to do. So I think that's as close as you can get to clearing out the entire map. Because the Spines and Spores infinitely respawn, the enemy attack waves infinitely respawn.
My allegiance is
I guess at some...
Teleport successful.
I'll try something at the very end.
Teleport successful.
our suffering must end. My burden.
I might be able to have an army at each side and kill all the buildings off at least. That would be something. While they're respawning.
Shall be remade.
No, you can't? Okay.
Behold, my greatest.
I was thinking, like, could I build a wall of buildings right here and stop enemies from spawning? But it looks like that creep does not use tumors. Instead, it's just existent creep, which means that the answer is no. There's no way to, like, mind control anything, right? I can't, like, take a drone and start building spines over there. What if I walled off the spawn point with Mastark Templar?
I'm detecting a large amount of Zerg activity in their hive clusters.
Sorry. I know this is dumb,
Prepare for an assault.
but someone's got to figure it out. Ah, I see. So there's an invisible wall right here, and the enemies spawn on this side of it, which means you cannot wall stuff off at all. Gotcha. Yeah, it's a subsectioned thing. Well, that's a shame. There's like so many things that are really close to being viable that just aren't. Yeah, the maps in the map editor, almost every map in the map editor is way bigger than it is in game. And often the enemies have a bunch of buildings off screen, like upgrade buildings, for example, are a big one. And that's how they always get their 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, even if they don't have forges and stuff on the map. And then sometimes they'll have stuff like tech structures on the map, so even if you snipe their tech structure, they can still build that tech. Stuff like fusion cores a lot of the time are just chilling off in a corner in the map editor. Saving up my money for Void Race, because Void Race, you know?
Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
Should probably get upgrades, shield upgrades. I love that they don't detect. It's so stupid. This is like the alpha test for Amon's hybrid. Which is actually weird because Mar did detect, didn't he? In the mission we did a couple missions ago, which was like 2 hours ago. So the fact that his brothers forgot how to detect. Pretty bad of you, Amon.
My burdens.
Wasn't this a false vision that was most likely to come? Yeah, exactly. This is the, if you don't save Kerrigan, then things are going to get bad type vision that then convinces James Raynor himself to save Kerrigan. And then everybody who plays through the plot finishes the plot and then goes, why did Jim want to save Kerrigan? He said he'd kill her. As if they just didn't listen to anybody talk in this entire mission chain. That's like the biggest criticism that people have of the Wings of Liberty story. Not that it happened, but that they claim it's a random change of character for Jim, even though it wasn't. Get him, Void Race. I just want a chrono. I want a chrono so bad. Yeah, it's canon that Jim did all the missions. Like, if you decide to skip missions and then you don't understand the story, that's not a criticism of the game. It's never a criticism of the game. That's like almost on the level of saying, I hit escape to get through these cutscenes more quickly, and it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know who these characters are. What a bad game. 0 out of 10. Okay, that's... You are allowed to have that feeling, but that doesn't mean that it is correct.
You address me?
Also, I don't know why it was Karen who was skipping all of the cutscenes. Karen's just got things to do, but she's also very invested in the plot of Wings of Liberty making sense. I'm not very high in supply. Am I gonna lose? I hope not.
My burden.
Karen doesn't play on journalist difficulty. You fool. She doesn't trust the mainstream media. Lamau, man, you can't, man. It'll get you banned from Twitch permanently. They actually send enforcers to your house and take you out if you say that. I know. It's tough.
Prismatic core online.
I don't think they forgot about Niadra. Apparently she appears in one of the books, and it felt to me like they were planning on using her originally as a plot thread in later games. And then they got word that there weren't going to be any of those. So then she got delegated to book duty instead. I am not letting any of these Niduses sink into the ground. You know why? Because they don't. They just spawn units forever. I want to farm broodlings. I kind of do.
This is the hour of truth, noble Templar. Let the enemy know the wrath of Ire's champions.
Look at me. I'm artificially inflating my kill count, but it doesn't appear on the score screen. I'm hoping it does on the endgame screen, though. Oh. There we go. I guess we need vision of them for them to spawn stuff.
I will be redeemed. En Arudim.
Prismatic core online.
Glory to the firstborn. My burdens.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
En Arudim, Russia. I will erase.
Then we wait. We're more than halfway done with the mission. Then we can move on to greener pastures. Jay the Fox subscribing with Prime. Thank you so much.
Our pylon is under attack.
Oh, my phoenixes are really low. Rune isn't lifting anymore, boys. At least his gym buddies aren't here. What a shame.
Prismatic core online.
My burdens.
We face the enemy.
This is about the point that I start getting bored with this mission. I think it's pretty fine until here, and then it's just like, we could be done. Wow, I just threw away a lot of DTs for nothing. Oh, there's a bunch of hybrid, I see.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
I don't even need to do this mission. I mean, I want to do it for completionist's sake, but it's not like I need the technology for it or anything.
You address me.
I'm like trying to justify in my head hitting the abort mission button even though I'm like 2/3 of the way done.
I will erase the evil. You address me. My calling.
So Stormzarn, what you said there was partially correct, but also partially incorrect. We know for a fact that the mission packs actually did sell quite well. They confirmed that. However, co-op sold, for the amount of effort that co-op took to develop, it sold way too well. So basically all that stuff was profitable, but it wasn't as profitable as taking the developers and putting them onto co-op. That's what they publicly stated, at least. And that is a real enough explanation, to me at least, that I believe them.
As I was your beginning, so shall I be your end.
What, my end?
Base is under attack.
We embrace the glory of battle.
So if Amon's a Xel'Naga, and the Xel'Naga made all the people, are we technically killing our dad in this game? Big Daddy Amon? I never really thought about it that way.
Base is under attack. Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
He's my A-mama. Imagine if he knew how to birth terrifying enemies. Wouldn't that be something? Also, the whole point of the Xel'Naga, right, is that every one of their generations is significantly better than the last, because they take the closest they can get to purity, form, and essence, and then combine them together for the next generation. Which means, like, because if they were good enough, then they would just stop doing that, right? If they were actually truly pure of form and pure of essence, then they'd be like, well, we could just keep going with this one because we perfected the template. Which means they're never actually there. But wouldn't it mean that there's a fundamental flaw in their strategy where they're fighting things that are inherently superior to them? Or at least an Amon strategy? Why did he never think of that? Because Amon's not pure form and essence. He's taking things that are pure form and essence and trying to put them together. And then he's like, haha, you are pure form and essence, thus far superior to me. Please listen to what I have to say. It doesn't make much sense. It seems like at some point the hybrid should have been like, wait, why are we listening to this loser? We're literally superior to him in every way, that's the point. And then gone off and done their own thing instead of listening to him. In fact, that would have been fairly interesting if there was a group of hybrid who were more chill and were like, actually, I like the sector and the life here, you know, the things that we're based off of.
My burdens.
It could have been, I don't know, an interesting character. Because they really did try to write some interesting characters, especially in Legacy of the Void. But they never bothered to make the hybrid anything more than just like, ugh, so scary. What are we gonna do?
My burden.
I just want Steve the hybrid to be my friend. And then he could have been a Spear of Adun ability, and we like throw down a hybrid dominator, and he, I don't know, he like mind controls some guys for a bit. I don't know. If Amon drugged him, we could just drug him back. Like, that's Terran Infantry 101, right? Is just giving way too many drugs to people. So why wouldn't they just, like, get some medics UED style, come in, drug the hybrid, and turn them onto your side? That seems like a good plan to me. It worked for the Overmind, number 2. Medics are confirmed OP. They're so good, especially Brood War ones. If you have infinite APM, they literally counter like everything. I bet they're one of those units that you'd make a lot more of in a botting competition with like infinite APM that was written perfectly.
If only we had acted sooner.
Oh, Zeratul died.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
I'm actually like kind of convinced I'm gonna lose. My supply is just so small.
Prismatic core online.
I need to kill these buildings again. For the good of the sector.
Without faith.
Upgrade complete.
Our suffering
Are they not sending these buildings
eager
back?
to strike. I will complete.
Victory against
Hey guys, it looks like...
all.
Oh,
Field online.
I was really excited for a moment.
The final hour is up.
This is the Executor.
They're not really rebuilding these.
Prismatic.
Our pylon is under attack. The enemy.
Go get them.
Justice be done. We highlight for iron. We tarry too long. Our pylon is under attack. The glory of battle.
I think if I kill that spore, then I've killed every building on the map.
Base is under attack.
We face
Because they just don't seem interested in rebuilding them anymore. There we go.
Base is under attack.
At the end of the thing, I will turn on the thing.
Base is under attack.
Check.
This is Hierarch Artanis, commanding the Shield of Iron. Our matrix fields are within range. Engaging mass
So how do I want to end this mission without anything on the map?
enemy. My brethren, hear me, for there is little time left. All that remains of our race, our
Just gonna,
civilization,
oh, they rebuilt it!
are those that stand beside you now.
Let's check the ones over here.
Trust in each other.
Okay, Rune's gonna go over here.
As one will.
Everyone else goes into this
Let
corner.
our last stand burn a memory so bright, we will be remembered forever. Entaro Tassadar!
No, Artanis will be remembered forever.
There can
Our pylon is under attack.
engaging the enemy.
I gotta do this. So, there's one spore. And then I need my entire army to die while everything on the map is dead.
Base is under attack.
I think it's the same voice actor. I think that they hadn't figured out the After Effects that they had wanted to use on it yet, on Artanis. So I think what I need to do... Uh-oh. Where are they going?
our thoughts are one.
There's no buildings on the map.
No doubt.
No.
Fear.
Your warriors have engaged.
No. Drop. How can I do this? Kill these guys. I need to kill all the stuff on the ground that's over there.
Our thoughts
And then I need to figure things out. Oh, they're diving into it. Interesting.
Our path is clear.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
There can dawn strength in unity. Faith before fear.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
March boldly without fear.
So the Zerglings shouldn't spawn
Thoughts
anymore.
are one.
Then it's going to be waves of Corruptors and Mutas?
Our path is
How do I feel like I'm really close to having this map entirely cleared. And then I don't know how to kill all of my stuff.
thoughts are one.
The drop pods seem to not actually drop anything. They drop creep tumors sometimes. If I can get these Zerglings. No, but here comes the giant death wave. Yeah, I don't think this mission is possible to kill everything. I think we might have to take the 0-hour approach where if you kill everything before the infinite spawning happens, then it counts, if that makes sense. And I think I killed everything before the infinite spawning. I guess no, these hybrid that are reset over here need to be killed. And the Banelings. Because they're just chilling out in a position, which makes me think that they are pre-2500.
Satisfactory. With pride, as you say.
Getting over to them is kind of a pain, though. Swing over here. Oh, the air blockers. What is happening? They're bouncy. Everything is bouncy. The Protoss invented one final thing. A bouncy castle for their forces.
There's just too many of them.
I'm gonna hold the pole.
I return.
Forgive me, great Tassadar. I wasn't strong enough.
There.